You know, I've always really liked that generic Mario Kart flavor, so why not make a video going over what most people associate with the worst of Mario Kart, the circuit tracks. Now we're gonna rank all of them, which really means let's make a video essay in a more YouTube friendly format. But of course, there has to be rules. No tour remakes are going to be included since I have no way to play them at any time, and while most remakes are going to be grouped in with the original in this ranking, if a remake changes enough for me to have a different opinion on it, then it'll be ranked separately. Also, I'm going to include the Raceway tracks from Mario Kart 64 because they're basically circuit tracks with a slightly different name. Now we have 26 entries, so let's get into it. The first track is the absolute bottom of the barrel in terms of Mario Kart tracks, and even Nintendo seems to agree since it's never brought it back, not even in Tour. I'm of course talking about Figure 8 Circuit, the only circuit to not have its name derived from a character, this time deriving from a figure 8, and that describes this track perfectly. It's literally just a figure 8. No obstacles, mostly straight lines, pretty wide roads. It's kind of pathetic in all honesty. The track at least looks decent for a DS track, but I just feel like my time is worth more than racing on Figure 8 Circuit. If Nintendo brings this course back in 8 Deluxe, I'm gonna seriously question their motives. Mario Circuit 3 just doesn't work in games with actually good controls. It just shows how lacking in originality the layout is. Sure, there's a few shortcuts you can take, but what else does this course have? One puddle of oil? One boost panel? And it's even worse in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because this was a DLC track. There are 3 other Mario circuits from Super Mario Kart, and all 3 of them would have been leagues better options to bring back. But no, pick the lame one. This track has a similar problem to Figure 8 Circuit. The layout is just way too simple. It's 2 circles with a line in between them. How exciting. But at the very least, it's better than mostly straight lines. It's curves instead of straight lines. The track at least has a cool idea with the Luigi blimp lowering an item box onto the course, even though it's useless because it's right after another set of items. So the only vague use if someone else gets the item in front of you and you end up missing the item and not getting an item, which at that point is just your fault. It might seem like I'm really dwelling on this point, but it's really the only unique thing about this course. It's probably worse than Mario Circuit 3, but at least this one doesn't make me mad. Peach Circuit is the most basic course that originated from Super Circuit, and that's all there really is to say. It's not unbelievably bad, it's just unbelievably bland. At least Peach getting her own circuit is kinda cool, I guess. Probably the most controversial track on this list is Toad Circuit in the Booster Course Pass. Yeah, this course was a pretty lame pick for the Booster Course Pass, but at least it has an idea and pulls it off decently well. A parade filled with Toad balloons isn't a bad concept, and it being so simple isn't awful either. It's just that you can tell Nintendo really didn't try with this course. It looks pretty awful compared to the rest of Mario Kart 8, but I don't hate it like others, it's just a little underwhelming. Simple tracks aren't bad, but this shouldn't have been DLC. Now, I've already gone over Mario Circuit 3, but this is the version in Super Mario Kart and Super Circuit. I like it a lot more because you can't get as crazy with course design in the 2D games, so it's not undermined by how simple it is, but it's still not great. This turn can be sort of annoying with the not so great controls of Super and the mediocre controls of Super Circuit. That's not to say I hate Super Circuit, by the way. I think it's fair to say that Super Circuit has worse controls than the 3D games, but Super Circuit is pretty underrated in my opinion. But yeah, there's not really much to say about this course. It's just like the 3D versions, except it's better because it doesn't have as much competition. Mario Kart Wii's Luigi Circuit is so unbelievably lame, but I kinda love it. Like other courses, this track has absolutely nothing to call its own, but I don't know, man, it's goddamn Luigi Circuit. Like Luigi Circuit, Mario Kart Wii's Mario Circuit is incredibly basic with its layout, but I really like the aesthetic of this course. Racing by a town that's by Peach's castle is pretty unique and fun, but when you leave the town it kinda loses its charm and becomes another Double Dash Mario Circuit, especially with the Chain Chomp. Mario Circuit 1 is the first Mario Kart track and the first cup of the first Mario Kart game, and I think that excuses how this track is just a circle with some pizzazz. It's honestly pretty fun to race on in the 2D games, and in DS it's pretty alright, but it does have a bit too many straight lines for my liking. This is our last last original Wii track on this list, which like Super Circuit doesn't mean I don't like Mario Kart Wii. It's not my favorite Mario Kart game, but it's definitely a pretty great one, but the circuit tracks aren't that amazing. That brings us to Daisy Circuit, which is pretty unique in terms of circuit tracks, being a small town instead of the normal grassland aesthetic. It's got a cool theme, but other than that, I'm just not a huge fan of this course. I like the staircase shortcut, but other than that, there's nothing that special. I also don't really like the idea of Luigi and Daisy as a couple. They feel like the kind of couple that would adopt a cat and put makeup on it. Like I said with Toad Circuit and the Booster Course Pass, I kinda like the layout of this track, but it just doesn't work as a DLC course. But when it comes with the base game, it's quite solid. Not amazing or anything, but it's pretty fun. Mario Circuit 2 is definitely my favorite SNES Mario Circuit, but I think I like it in the original more than the 3DS remake. The reason it's so solid in Super is because it feels pretty unique with the jump, but in Mario Kart 7 it just pales in comparison to the wackier courses. It's solid. If they wanted to bring back an SNES Mario Circuit to Switch, this is definitely the one they should have chosen, but oh well. Outside of Super Circuit, which remastered every SNES track, Mario Circuit 4 has never returned, which is a bit of a shame honestly, because it's basically an actually good version of Mario Circuit 3. It's a fun track, but I don't know what you want me to say about an SNES track. I've reviewed a bunch of them so far. Mario Raceway is a pretty decent course in both Mario Kart Wii and 64, but I don't know what to say about it. It's just pretty solid, but it's not special or anything. It's just solid, but I don't know what else to say. It's just a pretty basic Mario Kart course, and that's all it's trying to be, which is fine, but I don't know. Super Circuit's version of Mario Circuit is pretty great layout-wise, with the second half of the track having many twists and turns, and the last section having a pit crew thing with an item box. But the first part is pretty boring. Just two long straightaways, which isn't interesting in the slightest. It's quite great and the background is very pretty, but it definitely has flaws. Mario Kart 8 only had one original circuit track, which is pretty interesting, and the one they came up with, Mario Circuit, is pretty cool, basically being a showcase for anti-gravity, twisting all and all around on this floating platform. And of course, it had to be a figure 8 because, well, Mario Kart 8. Unlike figure 8 circuit though, this one actually has obstacles, cool layout changes, and a fun concept, but there is a bit too many instances where you're just turning to reach the top 10. Like I said previously, Mario Circuit 2 makes a little bit more sense on SNES and GBA, but I said all I really want to say about that course. Mario Circuit from Mario Kart DS is one of the most solid tracks in the franchise. It's not amazing, but it's so competent that I can't really get mad at it. The Fire Piranha plants add some cool obstacles, but we're not at the best version of this course just yet. Mario Circuit from Double Dash is a great course. I love the bumpy section, the chain chomp is pretty cool, and I think it was made even better in Wii with the trick system. Being able to get a boost off the aforementioned bumps in the road and the bridge at the end add a lot to the track, and while the bigger spectacles of the course are saved for the second half, the first half only being slightly interesting, it's pretty good. I really like Mario Circuit and Mario Kart 7. I like how you can go inside Peach's castle, in a pipe that you can ride on the walls, the pink trees are very cute and pretty, and I don't know, I just think it's a great course for a Mario Circuit. The other Double Dash circuit track, Luigi Circuit, is pretty unique, having you run into racers going the other way. No other Mario Kart track really tries this, and it's a cool concept. The map is also the dumbest looking shape I've ever seen in a Mario Kart game. Sorry, second dumbest shape in a Mario Kart game. Rain always makes something better in a video game. Think about it. The Davy Jones boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 3 is pretty good, but the atmosphere in Arena is what makes that fight. And it makes Luigi Circuit and Super Circuit as well. The puddles aren't that interesting as obstacles, but it makes sense that they're here. And the course as a whole is basically just a better version of both Peach and Mario Circuit. Very good layout, very cool theme, what's not to love? Remember when I went over Mario Kart DS's Mario Circuit? Well, they added that track to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and improved it so much I think it's a genuinely spectacular course. Adding a forest section, a wiggler on the third lap, it's all great ways to spice up this course, and it looks pretty decent for a Booster Course Pass track. This is the only circuit in the Booster Course Pass I think really deserved to be here, but at least we got this amazing remake out of it. Yoshi Circuit, specifically in Mario Kart 8, is amazing. It's so cool that they made an incredibly entertaining track with such a limited map and outline of Yoshi. But this track has so many great set pieces. A tunnel, a waterfall shortcut, the flower beds with added piranha plants in this version. But why is the 8 version lower than the GameCube and DS version? It's the Yoshi helicopter. They took the Yoshi helicopter out of the modern remake, which is just so lame. Yeah, everything I said about Yoshi Circuit in the last section, but minus the piranha plants and the addition of the goddamn Yoshi helicopter. I really liked Mario Circuit and Super Circuit, but I didn't like the long straightaway section. So why is the Mario Kart 8 version at number 1? They fixed every issue I have with the course. The long boring section is now an anti-gravity section with 2 massive jumps, bringing so much to the course. There's a new shortcut ramp on the side, there's new obstacles, they made the pit stop section actually look like one in this version. It's such an amazing remake and a joy to play on, so how can I not rank it this high? But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. This one was pretty fun to make. I'll have more videos out in the future, and hopefully I'll come up with an incredibly iconic catchphrase next video. See you guys later.